I made a mistake. A big one. The last Mag overview was supposed to be this one, but unfortunately for the pilot that requested me to look into the locust, I made the mistake of mixing up these two. Can you blame me? I mean, look at them. They look the same, somewhat. They're both 20-ton recon mechs, or light mechs I guess, and they both have bug names. I think it's quite understandable if you mix these two up. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who does this. At least I hope I'm not. The Flea and the Locust are similar in many ways, both being fast but lightly armed mechs designed for reconnaissance or light combat. However, the Locust is notably more successful, particularly because of its widespread use throughout human space. While the Flea was primarily used by only 3 major states or organizations, the Locust is utilized and produced by nearly all nation states. Its success is so prominent that, for many, the Locust is the first image that comes to mind when thinking of a scout mech. The original Locust, the LCT-1V, was developed and produced by Bergen Industries, a Capellan Federation-based company. Now, there is no detail as to why the development of the Locust was spurred, but if you allow me a bit of speculation, I think they saw the fleet and said, we can do one better. In 2499, they completed the mech's development and immediately sent it to 8 factories for mass production, confident that the design would succeed, and their confidence was well rewarded. Almost immediately, any party with the means or desire ordered large quantities of locusts. This demand continued for centuries, from the era of the Star League to the many secession wars, and even into the current Il Clan era. The Locust's legacy endures. The LCT-1V is built upon the Bergen 7 chassis rated for 20 tons. With a 160 LTV power plant, it can reach 129 kilometers per hour. It is only covered in 4 tons of star-slab center armor and is armed with a Martel medium laser in the middle for armored targets and 2 Sperry Browning machine guns where the arms would be, with 10 heat sinks to cool them down. Not sure if the same Browning as we have here in real life, but I wouldn't be surprised. The weapons are linked to an OP-911 targeting system, and the communications are facilitated by the Garrett T-10B. Like the Flea, the Locust is a small mech intended primarily for scouting roles, but the small size does limit its capabilities, such as pilot comforts and limited armor. 8 factories could not keep up the demands for the Locust. Starting around the mid-2500s, Bergen began licensing their designs to other manufacturers. The first non-Bergen variant was the 1S model, produced by the Lyrian Commonwealth. This version carried 1 ton less armor to accommodate 2 SRM-2s. The Davions followed with the 1M model, which reduced armor to a single ton to equip LRM-5s. The most advanced model in the Locust's 1 series is the 1VB. During the Star League era, Bergen Industries produced the special Royal Guards variant for use by the SLDF. Its chassis was upgraded to endo steel with 4 tons of ferrofibrous armor. The power plant was lightened to XL, and its heat sinks were upgraded to double models. For armament, it retains a medium laser in the center and adds pairs of light and medium pulse lasers on the arms. In the final decade of the Secession War, the 1E model was produced, featuring a simple weapon swap from the original, with pairs of mediums and small lasers on each arm. This was the last model introduced for nearly 2 centuries. After the Fourth Secession War, the Capellans used the LCT-1V as testbeds to identify the right compound needed to create stable, triple-strength Mimir. These prototypes became known as the 1L. The most recent model in the first series, the 1V2, was produced by the Mariner Hegemony around 3066. This variant also features a straightforward refit, replacing machine guns for 4 Rocket 10 launchers. Given its widespread use, the Locust has countless stories associated with individual units and pilots. One notable pilot, Lieutenant Martha Maveries, became famous as the Stomper, for crushing vehicles while defending a city. George McPherson was celebrated for his skill with the Locust, while Michael Furman famously single-handedly destroyed a Crusader in one. Timothy Gardner, a local legend in the Oregon Coalition, achieved a high kill count defending his cornfields, and Ashlyn Winters, a Merrick safe agent that fucked the noble so good inside a Locust's cockpit, he rejoined the Free World League with 5 planets in tow. I'm not making it up or exaggerating, that's actual canon, it says it right here. There are also stories that are less heroic and more amusing. Savannah Johnson, for instance, was killed by a 5-ton hovercraft. Her name now lives up in infamy as a warning against hubris when fighting conventional vehicles. Then there's Roselle Williams, whose Locus was repeatedly vandalized by his tech team. They frequently repaired his mech with industrial-grade armor plastered with various company logos just to annoy him. Later, his unit received full sponsorship by a multinational conglomerate, Bondog's Nummy Hens, and his Locus is painted the company's livery. Soon, he raised enough funds to upgrade his mech to the new 3S package. At the start of the new millennium, Bergen Industries, presumably, released a 3 series of the Locus, beginning with the 3V model. This variant was not vastly different from the original Locus, though it featured 0.5 tons less armor and an additional medium laser in the center. During the Client invasion, further 3 series models were developed. The Davion half of the Confederate Commonwealth modernized the previous 1M model, creating the LCT-3D. This model continued a skirmisher role with LRM-5s, but now included endo-steel construction, 2.5 tons of ferrofibrous armor, and case for ammunition protection. The Steiner half of the Commonwealth produced a similar variant, but equipped with Streak SRM-2s instead of the LRM-5s. The Free Wars League also contributed to the 3 series, the LCT-3M. Their model was designed for enhanced combat capability, reflected in its reinforced structure of 3 tons of ferrofibrous armor and endo-steel internals. Machine guns were replaced by 2 pairs of small lasers in each arm, and an anti-missile system was installed to counter incoming missiles. Now, I don't know if this pilot used a 3 series, but the time frame of his story kinda in the region. Master Technician Bill Hacer was a Rasalhague native that at first had difficulty accepting Clan Ghostbear's invasion of the former Rasalhague Republic. It was later when sovereignist terrorists started bombing and killing people they considered traitors that Bill jumped in a Locust that he salvaged and drove these terrorists off. Development of the Locust initially halted of the Clan invasion. It wasn't until the word of Blake showed interest in a new Locust model that Korean Enterprises developed the 5 series. The 5M was essentially a revamped 3M, now featuring a Hermes 240 XL engine that pushed its top speed to 194 km per hour. Callan FLW special ferrofibrous armor was increased to the maximum 4 tons, though the anti-missile system was removed to allow for upgraded Magnar AR lasers paired with a Korean Cult Master targeting system. The Word of Blake was the only faction interested in the 5M, as none of the other major houses showed any interest. Its initial lack of popularity was compounded by Urchona Belmex being the only other manufacturer to license its production. But soon, the periphery nations showed great interest in the 5 series, which Korean then developed a design that incorporates periphery technology. The 5V retains the ferrofibrous armor and the ER mediums, but switched the ER smalls to Rocket 10 launchers. The internals and engine will also swap back to original spec to keep costs down. Eventually, the 5 series began appearing within the militaries of great houses. Around 3070s, RAF forces reported sightings of the Taurian-developed 5T model being used by the CCAF. The 5T was a highly effective anti-infantry variant equipped with 2 arrays of 3 light machine guns on its arms and a single ER medium laser in the center. To accommodate the weight of the LMG arrays, the engine was swapped for an XL model. A Locust piloted by Senior Grade Lieutenant Bernice Paulson of the Free Worlds League traveled 2,600 kilometers over 13 days after her dropship was damaged during re-entry. Left alone in Santa Fe, New Mexico, while the rest of the unit was in Hilton Head, she made the journey solo. Her feat is commemorated annually the Paulson Sprint Memorial Race. Now the story is that of First Lieutenant Deb Carson. She initially served the Lion Sky March militia until she was assigned the same lands as Peter Steiner Davion. This assignment involved her in a series of events that would ultimately lead him to become the Archon of the Lyran Alliance. In recognition of her service, she was later appointed to his ceremonial command lands. But for every bright story, there will always be summer ones. A company of Locust 5Vs, known as the Swarm, operated during the Taurian invasion of the Pleiades cluster. Rather than using the standard lance formation, they rotated members' roles to ensure losses wouldn't cripple the unit. Their operations against the AFFS caused extensive damage, leading the AFFS to place large bounties on each member. Over time, the swarm was gradually diminished, with the last member ultimately taken out by the bounty hunter personally. Colonel Vladimir Bruiskov left the AFFS to form his own mercenary command, the Maelstrom Mercs. Known for their hard-hitting harassment tactics, the unit operated effectively until they were defeated by the clans. Vladimir spent years trying to rebuild his command, only for it to dissolve again with the onset of the Fatcom Civil War. Disillusioned with the mercenary life, he eventually sold his Locust and disappeared into the masses. During the Jihad, the Locust models designed by both halves of the Federal Commonwealth served as the foundation for what became known as the 5S. This variant combines both short-range and long-range missile capabilities, equipped with 2 MML-3 launchers and an ER medium laser for direct combat. The Word of Blake developed their own variant of the 5 Series mech. Using the 5M as the base model, they retained the original engine, weapons, and chassis, but introduced new features. The 5W variant includes a mask system, allowing it to reach a top speed of 194 km per hour when activated. Additional modifications include light ferrofibrous armor and the installation of 10 double heat sinks. The 5W also boasts impressive scouting capabilities with a tag system and an improved C3 module. The Republic of Sphere developed their own version of the 5W after acquiring the plans for the Word of Blake variant. The W2 is largely similar but replaces the C3I with a C3 Slave and adds a Guardian ECM system. During the Battle of Terra, Sergeant Wilkie Bakersfield captured a 5W and destroyed 3 battle mechs in a single day. His final kill was a Redshift, which managed to cripple his mech and left him with a broken leg in 3 places. Later, he authored a paper on the strengths and weaknesses of the Locust 5W, which Korean engineers frequently cited during development of the W2. Lieutenant Anselm Romaldi was a mech warrior from a common background. He might have become a pilot sooner if not for his humble beginnings, but the reactivation of the training battalion program gave him that chance. Although he was a skilled pilot, it took him years to earn the respect of his higher-born comrades. He developed an intense hatred for Chu E. Reginald Benton, a combined pilot who had defeated him once. To Anselm, Benton embodied the excesses and entitlement of the nobility. Peter Knopf piloted a 5S and was known for his fierce loyalty to the Lyran Commonwealth. His skill in disabling mechs could have earned him a quick promotion had his regiment not betrayed the Commonwealth. Forced to fight his former comrades, Knopf ultimately fell in battle. During the Dark Age, 2 new variants based on the 5M models were created. The M2 has 1 ton less armor and a slightly smaller 220 XL engine, equipped with 2 medium pulse lasers on the arms and an ER medium laser in the torso. The M3 variant features an even smaller 180 XL engine but is reinforced with 3.5 tons of ferrofibrous armor. It carries 2 ER medium lasers on the arms and a large ER laser in the torso. The Word of Blake Jihad devastated the Free Worlds League, fracturing the once great nation into smaller warring states vying for supremacy. Some of these states aligned with neighboring nations, exchanging loyalty for access to advanced technologies. Among these innovations was the Merrick-built LCT-6M. The 6M is the only model in 6 series and it stands out as the fastest Locust, if not the fastest mech ever built. Powered by a 280 XL engine and equipped with mask, it can reach an astonishing speed of 302 km per hour. Despite its incredible velocity, it maintains a respectable 4 tons of ferrofibrous armor, along with 2 ER medium lasers and a single ER small laser. However, this performance came at a cost. The cockpit was uncomfortably cramped, and the inclusion of the larger but lighter XL gyro made the mech more susceptible to critical damage. Locust development continued throughout the Dark Age, with Bergen Industries introducing the first 7 series. The LCT-1V, built on the Bergen 7 Endo chassis, is powered by a Nissan 200 light engine, enabling a top speed of 162 km per hour. It is protected by 3.5 tons of Hellspawn heavy ferrofibrous armor, and armed with a single series arms model X medium X pulse laser and 2 Mindron mini mag shot Gauss rifles, all integrated with a Dynatech 900 targeting system. The 7V was conceived as an upgraded 1V, retaining the familiarity of its predecessor while incorporating modern advancements. This design helps new pilots transition smoothly to more advanced machines. A variant more suited for long-range combat was also produced, which carries 2 ER smalls and a light PPC. The latest Locust variant is the 7S, which was built by Defiance Industries. The 7S is the first in-sphere Locust to incorporate client technology with its design. It uses the Korean 2 Deluxe Endosteel chassis with a Defiance Clan Grade 240 XL engine, which propels it to 194 km per hour. It carries 4 tons of Duralex super medium ferrofibrous armor with case, and a Tharhas Crystal Flower RG2 provides communications. For weapons, it carries a Clan Defiance C9M extended range medium laser and 2 Sperry Browning machine guns mated to an OP-911 targeting system, going back to its roots. I thought 200 kilometers was quick, but 3! I didn't think that was possible, but it is apparently for mech. Like, yeah, for mech even. I mean, what the hell is the 6M? Like, seriously, what were those Merrics smoking when they made that thing? Like, you just learn something new every day, don't you? But that's the Locust. Finally got it right, I think. Again, this was supposed to be the last like overview video, but you know, I got mixed up with the flea. Okay, somehow, some way, I got mixed up with the flea. I think it's easy to do that. I hope, maybe, I don't know. I actually don't know what to do for the next overview video, but maybe I'll touch clan stuff finally. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But if you enjoyed the video and like to see more lore stuff, please do consider joining the fleet and subscribing and giving this a like. If you'd like to support the fleet directly, then please do consider joining the Elite Pilots membership. I can only offer a thank you segment for now, but hopefully down the line, I'm able to offer a lot more. Got Discord in the ER emergency room if you'd like to join that, and also Twitch for gaming streams, but I also stream here too. Well, until the next mission, pilots, take care, and I'll see you all on the next sortie. Take care. Bye-bye.